Welcome everybody to a look at another Warner Brothers Archive Collection release. This is a brand new release and it is 1932's Dr. X. So this is directed by Michael Curtis, who eventually went on to do the likes of Casablanca, Mildred Pierce, The Adventures of Robin Hood, The Breaking Point, The Sea Wolf, The Scarlet Hour, and the similar mystery of the Wax Museum in terms of execution and cast. So yeah, this clocks in at 76 minutes long. It's a mystery horror film. Stars Lionel Atwill. This is the 16th film I've now seen from him. He was in several of the Universal horror films, like, House of Dracula and a bunch of the Frankenstein films, as well as Man-Made Monster, Night Monster, and Murders in the Zoo. Also stars Fay Wray, who was in King Kong, The Most Dangerous Game, and Thunderbolt, the latter of which we recently reviewed from Indicator. And then it also stars Lee Tracy, who was in Power of the Press. So a wisecracking New York reporter intrudes on a research scientist's quest to unmask the Moon Killer. So, with a great cast, solid pacing, a short running time, and overall engrossing plot, this mystery horror film is an entertaining effort that also looks really good thanks to the two-colour Technicolor process used to film this in, which certainly helped set it apart from other films of the time. Yeah, the Technicolor looked really, really good, to be honest, considering it's a very early process at that time. This is several years before The Wizard of Oz, for instance, where that was just awesome in terms of its colour palette. And yeah, even though this is a lot older, it's still got a fairly decent colour palette to it. It also has effective production value. There are a few laughs which are balanced nicely with the darker elements, such as cannibalism, for instance, which, yeah, you can tell this is a pre-code film because it's putting in those kind of themes. And even though there isn't a huge amount of characterization, that doesn't really harm the overall enjoyment out of this film. So yeah, really, really fun film, to be honest, and being less than 80 minutes, can hardly complain too much about it. But like a lot of these, well, all of these Warner Brother collection ones, ever since they stopped releasing them via HMV in the premium collection, there isn't much in terms of physical extras, but there is actually some good extras on the disc, which includes the separately filmed black and white version, which was originally intended for small US markets and international distribution, which has been unavailable before this release for over 30 years. So yeah, that's really interesting. So because of the Technicolor process at the time, it's not just a simple case of changing the color palette and just making it black and white. It was literally filmed in Technicolor, so you can't then just take that and put it in black and white. You have to film it again in black and white because the process at the time was so kind of archaic that you couldn't basically just not make it black color anymore. So they filmed it literally back to back as a black and white version as well, which means that some of the black and white version scenes are actually different to the Technicolor versions. It's not a huge differences apparently. It's just basically another take of the same film, although there are some lines that are either missing or added in. I'm not sure which way, but yeah, going to be interesting to see what that version is like. Also got a featurette called The Horror Films of Michael Curtis. You also got a UCLA before and after restoration reel, as this has been restored. You also got commentaries by author film historian Alan K. Rode and Scott McQueen, head of preservation at UCLA Film and Television Archive, plus a theatrical trailer as well. So yeah, really, really enjoyable film. Got some nice extras on it. Very rare that you'd get a black and white version of a colour film. Obviously nowadays that's a bit more common, because digital filming is a lot easier to put into black and white than it is colour, than it would have been back then. But still, yeah, really nice extra, and yeah, really rather great film overall. So yeah, 4 out of 5 from me. If you've seen this film before, then I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.